Hello everyone. Glad everyone liked my cartoon adaptation of that comic strip. I am making this short video here because I could make a few videos that would span over an hour, but let's face it, that would get really boring really fast. I feel in many ways I have already talked my audience's ears off and have bored people. So what I am going to do is take the wall of text I was going to make into videos, and just publish them on my blog, and use this video as an opportunity to advertise their publication. I will put the links in the description. 1. Crossroads. This is a blog post about how I feel about my YouTube channel, some commentary about some of the past videos I've made, some future plans and why. The gist of it is, I have 3 styles of video: soapbox preaching, feminist ponage, and comedy. I feel I have done too much soapbox preaching and need to get into feminist ponage and comedy. However, I also need to get out the rest of my MGTOW series, which is soapbox preaching style, so it's all about that. And I also go off on a bit of a tangent about some software problems I've been having, and ask for any possible solutions. 2. My reply to GrapplingIgnorance. He left some comments on my channel, so I figured I would take his concerns and respond and educate him. It ended up being an unbearably long reply that honestly took me all day. Why is it sometimes I feel the need to get just that long-winded with people is beyond me, but I'm not going to make that into what would easily be a 30-minute video. It's a blog post. 3. My views on Linux, guaranteed to piss off all the penguin lovers out there. 4. My take on women against feminism. And yeah, I heard Baba's video on the matter already, and I pretty much agree with his sentiment. I too have stated that feminism is coming to an end, and it won't be men who bring it down, it will be women, and their motive won't be altruistic love and compassion for the male sex, it will be selfish self-interest, and will default to traditionalism, under all the rhetoric being used. The great bulk of women don't care about feminism's persecution of men, but instead care about its persecution of stay-at-home parasitism that women enjoy. Also, I have stated, or perhaps not yet published the video where I state it, all of Western culture is about to take a right-wing conservative turn to counter the toxicity of cultural Marxism. For better or worse, we are about to see a massive change in Western culture, but with all that said, I still believe women against feminism will be useful for exposing feminism, and I say in that blog post that women against feminism is not the end of feminism, it is the beginning of the end of feminism. But I warn you, traditionalist conservatism will be an even harsher threat to male rights, because it is enslavement with a male-friendly disguise, and a million times less insane, which makes it a far more difficult opponent to fight, and will be our enemy of tomorrow. And I am going to link to a video snippet I uploaded of Paul Elam talking about how unprepared feminists are for any sort of backlash or challenge, and he said this in reference to feminism being indicative of mental illness, which, all joking aside, I agree that feminism is for the most part a cesspool for mental instability. I personally believe it is pretty much an outlet for maladapted females, and that feminism is for the most part hyperfemininity, a conglomeration of the neuroticism found in mentally unfit women. I talk about this in my women against feminism post. I explain my theory that maladapted males exhibit hypermasculinity characterized by violence, aggression, vandalism, thrill-seeking, and raping. But maladapted females exhibit hyperfemininity, characterized as neurotic feminism, which include interpreting harmless situations as threatening, persecution complex, anxiety, histrionics, attention-seeking, jealousy, and other traits which basically make up feminism. I mean seriously, their fear of men is so sick. The idea that every man is a potential rapist, and when you challenge this as being so ridiculous, they make up fictional statistics. Imagine if you will a child who is afraid of the monster in the closet. You assure the little girl there is no monster. They defend, validate, their fear by claiming to have seen it. They will then become angered and outraged that you don't believe them, and then they grab their crayons and draw a picture of the closet monster, as if their drawing is proof of its existence. In this metaphorical example I am giving, what I am trying to convey is it begins with an irrational fear, but it escalates into lies in order to validate their fear. Some women, due to whatever mental defectiveness, fear men. This fear is irrational. When confronted on it, that they have an irrational fear, you've just done the one thing women can't stand, and that is, you invalidated her feelings. It's a part of the childishness in them. A child feels upset, it reactively cries, thereby prompting its parents to run to the rescue. The small child feels entitled to interrupt the busy lives of the adults around it. It feels entitled to the attention, and believes its own personal feelings have some relevancy outside of itself. Adults understand that largely. This just isn't true. Your feelings are your feelings. They don't concern others. But women, who are largely and unfortunately spoiled, never reach maturity and continue to believe their private feelings and phobias are other people's concern and that they are entitled to interrupt and inconvenience others with their selfish emotional breakdowns. They need to be told the feel-good lie that your feelings matter, when in reality they just don't matter. Anyhow, links in the description. And the reason I wanted people to subscribe to my Twitter under threat of cat killing, is because I have been significantly more active on Twitter, and will continue to be more active for a while, including more active on my blog, and I am getting back into Tumblr, and as long as you are following me on Twitter, my blog and Tumblr posts will be announced there. Also, if you read any of the blog posts I am linking to, and you wish to respond, I'd rather you respond on this video's comment section because it's easier for me to check, read, and respond here.